Hi there, I hope you're doing great. In this video, I am going to hopefully solve day 8 of Advent of Code 2022. And before starting, I just want to say thank you very much for all the new subscribers and welcome to the channel. And if you haven't, come join us, it's free and it helps make the video more visible. Let's just dive right in. Day 8. We are going to first of all do some parsing because I think this is really great. Last video I did that. I just focused on parsing, then solving the problem, then solving the second one. So I'm gonna do the same here. Let's just actually write the right input. So this is a template that I'm using every day. This is the example that I've pasted in a file on my computer. Now we need to make that a matrix of an array of arrays of integers. So here we have an array of strings. Here we need to map that into an array of characters, and then we can map that into an array of arrays of numbers. And if I console log that, day 8.mjs, this gives us the right input. So that the right input. Yep, so now we can focus on solving the problem. So I've been thinking a little bit about that, and the obvious solution that I had in mind was that we're gonna go for each line, we're gonna go from, so we're gonna start for each side of the square, and we're going to go through the full line. And one thing I wanted to check is this is approximately 100 characters by 100 characters. And so if we do, so that's 10,000, and if we do that 4 times, that would be 40,000. So if we just do that, I think we can solve this problem in a reasonable amount of time. Like there's no need for further optimization to solve the problem. So one thing I want to do, we're gonna say const visible is equal to new set. So this is gonna say whether specific coordinate is visible. And now we are going to need to go through each of the 4 directions. So I think I need something like a function that says check line. It's x, y, dx, dy, and visible. So we're gonna check here, we're gonna do that. Basically, I want to have a function that I can call for each line or column in whatever direction. So we're gonna do that for the first column, or let's do that for the first line, just for starters. Yep, let's do that for the first line here. So the first line, it has something special, that all of the elements are visible. But we're gonna just, maybe we take this line, just at random, let's do that. So here this is lines of 1, and we want to do that. Okay, so check line is, we want this, and we want the map actually here. So for lines 1, we want to do check line. We start at the line is 1. Oh, so actually here let's do yx dy dx, just so that I don't make any mistake. The column is, we start at 0, and we just do +1, that we get each element of the line. And the map is lines, and visible is the object that records if something is visible or not. So first of all, we need to say so let's have another function actually, say set visible, and it's going to be y, x, and visible, and it's going to be visible dot add, and we can say something like y dash x. So here we're going to say set visible y, x, and visible, because the first element of the line here, this element, we know it is visible because there is no other tree, and then we can go from that. So we're going to say I don't know, let's just do while there is map y and x, let the maximum so far is what is at map y x. We do y I am not sure how I am doing my loop. Basically, I want to do some kind of a loop here, and on each iteration of the loop, I want to do y plus equal dy, x plus equal dx, so that we go to the next element. And then we need to check if map y x is above maximum. Then we set visible y x, and we say maximum is equal this. Basically, if you see a tree that is bigger than the biggest tree you've seen so far, then it is visible, and then you need to take this new height for all the next trees. That's the idea here that I'm trying to code. So here basically we're going to say while true. Let's do an infinite loop for now. And basically here, if map, so what I want to check, okay, we're gonna do that. If y is below or equal to 0, or y is above or equal to map.length, then we break, and we need to do the same for x. If x is below or equal from 0, or x is above or equal map of y dot length, then we break. So that's basically our loop. I think this is all that we need to do. So basically here we're doing check line, and now we're going to console log the visible trees. Of course there is some little errors. So visible here, set visible, we need to pass the visible array. So basically, yeah, what I want to do is I want to avoid sharing variables between functions. So that's why I'm passing this visible array around, this visible set. So first of all, this one is visible, then 1 is visible, then this one is, all the rest is hidden. So that is working as expected. Let's go with another line. So let's start with the first line here. Okay, so there is an issue here. If we check the first line, this is 3037. Let's check here. We're gonna say console log yx. Okay, so here this is breaking. Oh, here we don't want to break if y is equal to 0. Y can be 0, x can be 0, but y cannot be map.length because it's already outside of the array, and here the same. Yeah, that I just had like an off by 1 error here. This is still not working because I haven't saved the file. That's typical mistake. Okay, so here this is the first tree, then this one is hidden, then this one is bigger. I think we have something going here. Let's try another direction, because here we have like we have made that for a line. Let's go let's go from the bottom to the top. Let's do that. Let's try that. So here, if we want to do let's check. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the line is the fourth line, and we want, let's say, 0, 1, 2. And here we want to do -1 because we want to go up, and we just want to go up. We don't want to go diagonally. So let's see what happens. Here we are like trying this thing. So 3. Yeah, the first tree that we see is this one, then the second tree that we see is this one, then all the trees are hidden. Let's try for another row here. What happened? Oh yeah, there's just 4 lines. I just want to go to the next column. So yeah, there's quite a lot of hand debugging, but yeah, I think that's good. Let's now do the full thing. So we want to call check line for each value around here. So yeah, there are some micro optimization that we could do. I'm just gonna ignore that. We're just gonna do I between 0 and lines of so we want to go for the first line, that length. So here we check all columns, and we need to check the line from the first line with the column I, and we want to go down. So this is 1 here. And we want to do the same for the bottom line. So with lines.length -1, I, and here this is -1. So we go, so this line checks from the bottom to from the top to the bottom, and this one from the bottom to the top. Then we do the same for all rows. So yes, all rows. So it starts with I and the X. Wait. I think I'm mixing things up. Here this is actually all rows already, if I'm correct. Here this is the line 0. No. This is confusing. Sometimes it's good to have something to visualize. Basically here for each element here we check and we go to the bottom. So here what we want to do, we always start at the x0 and we go to the right. Yes, that's it. And here we want to start at the last column here. So this is lines of 0 dot length minus 1, and we want to go from this to this direction. Hopefully that makes sense. And now we should, so the good thing here is that because we are using a set, we can go several times on the same tree and say several times this tree is visible, because the set is going to be doing the deduplication. And in the end we have this set, and we can just do dot size, because here we want to see the number of trees that are visible from outside the grid. And oh, I have too many debug lines. I don't like that at all. So we're gonna remove this because we don't need it. And we have 21 trees. Oh, still have like matrix debug line here. 21. This is what we wanted. So let's see with the full input. That looks big. You know what? Let's run time node day 8.mjs. We add time because we are on macOS, but this works on Linux as well, so that we can measure the amount of time it takes to run this. Okay, that was just like instant. Very little. Yeah, I don't think we need to optimize that further. I think really what made our solution work is that we have this set that we don't need to remember, has this node been visited or not. That's good. So let's try this input. Yeah, I was feeling quite confident about this one. Now let's see part 2. What's happening for part 2? Okay, so this is interesting. We have like a similar problem. Although we need to do this for each point in the map, get the scenic score. So maybe here we have something that is not gonna be good, because basically we said we have a map that is 100 times 100, that's 10,000, and basically for each of, if we go for each of these 3 and we go through the full 4 directions, it's like times 200. That would be like to do the full calculation on the big input, that would be 2 million operations. To do it like in a dumb way, which is the way that I'm planning to do. I think 2 million is still okay. Most likely there is an optimization to do, but I'm afraid this is gonna be too complex. So I'm just gonna go with the simple solution here. We're gonna have to do another check line function, because that is not gonna be working. And actually this check line function, we don't need the visible. We need to say const visible, let visible. Yep. So basically we need to go in here, we need to go in one direction, and in the end we return visible. So that looks right. So now I don't think this is the right approach here. So this, I'm sure this is not correct. I need to replace that, because that was from the previous statement. Let's call that check line 2. I'm not very inspired today for a nice name. So what we need to do? We need to move, and then we need to check if the tree has the same height I need to read again because I think I'm a bit confused when you are on 5. What happens when there's like a tree that's much bigger than you? Like for example here, 9 is okay. 9 is counted here. Okay, so we say if map y x is above or equal to maximum, then we break. Otherwise, this is a tree that is visible, so we can say visible plus plus. So let's just reverse that because that's a bit confusing. If a tree is below, wait, no, I think that's good. I think we need to say that this tree is visible first of all, and then we need to check. So yeah, because if we have a tree next to us that's 5 and we are already on 5, then we need to say, okay, this tree is visible, and then we say, okay, this is a tree that's too big, that's going to cut our vision, and we stop. So we can remove this code that's not useful anymore. And I think we are in a good position here. So now we're going to do like on the previous step, we're going to use this check visible. We're going to do some unit case, unit testing, kind of unit testing, visual unit testing. So we want to let's check what they have here. This is the line 1 and this is the column 0 1 2. If we go up, so if we go up, this is -1 and 0. Let's check that. Oh, let's just do node day 8.mjs. 1 is 1. Yeah, we can see one tree above us. If we go to the bottom, we can see 4 trees. Looking down, you can see 2 trees. That's not correct. It can't be correct. We should actually display the tree. Let's make that a bit smaller here. Current tree is maximum, and then here we say console log tree is map of y of x. So let's see what's happening here. Current tree is 2. Okay, so I am not doing this correctly. This is, we said line 1. Oh, you know what? This is the small input, and here we're using the big input. Another typical mistake. You always need to be careful what your code is running against. Okay, so now we have 2 trees looking down. That's correct. Let's do again how many trees we see looking up. 1 tree. That's correct. Let's say to the left. So now we do to the, let's say to the right first. We see 2 trees. That's correct. To the right it's 2, and to the left it should be 1. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Let's check 1 tree on the edge of the map. So let's say this is the edge. And if we go -1 here, 0, this should give us 0. Yep, that's correct. And then we can check. Oh, I don't think actually I want to check this one. Let's do the full thing here. We want the full score. So const y is equal, we said here this y is equal to 0 1, and const x is equal to 0, 1, 2. Now we can do that in the 4 directions. And we can actually const result is equal to, so y, x. First of all, we go to the top, then we go to the bottom, then we go to the right, then we go to the left. And here we can display a result. And here we should we see, oh, let's remove the debug lines one more time. I don't like to have too many debug lines. It's here and here. We can remove the loop comment, that doesn't make sense anymore. It's 4, so the score here should be 4, so we have something that's correct. Let's check here for this one, so it's line 0, 1, 2, 3. Line 3, column 0, 1, 2, so that's that. The score is 8, that's correct. So basically now we need to go through each element of the map, compute the scenic score, and we should have what we need. So here we go for each line, and it's lines.length, and then we go, oops, we go for each column. So here this is lines of y.length, and basically we have this score. The score is this, and now we just need the maximum. Let max equal 0. If score is above max, max equals score. Now we can display max, which is the maximum. It gives us 8, which is what we wanted to see. So that's perfect. Let's see with the full input. Oh, I wanted to time it as well. Time, yeah, that's less than 100 milliseconds. So I think that's respectable. That's okay. Whoop, whoop. We've got something that's working. I'm really happy. I was a bit scared today when looking at the problem statement. But yeah, here we are. We solved it. Thank you so much for the support in this series. It means a lot to see the comments and subscriptions and everything. If you haven't subscribed and you want to see the next videos, feel free to subscribe. And see you in the next one. Bye bye.